Good Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, just getting back from the Labor Day weekend. It was a hot, beautiful weekend for the final finish of the summer of 2015. Had a couple of record temperatures yesterday in Newark and LaGuardia. We've got some records running in the upper 80s and low 90s again around the New York City metropolitan area. And those records are in question this afternoon as a hot and somewhat more humid air mass builds over the forecast region. This is the daily video forecast discussion for Tuesday, the 8th of September 2015. Making your way out the door this morning to school or work, the roadways are going to be busy. It's the first day back after the long holiday weekend, and school is in session, so expect a lot more traffic on the roads this morning than the past couple of days and even the past week. Temperatures this morning are already starting out in the upper 60s across interior sections. They never really made it out of the upper 70s in the New York City metropolitan area, and those temperatures are going to rise to the lower 90s again in this region here. We've got dew points that are still relatively comfortable. They're in the low to the mid 60s. The winds are calm, high pressure's in control, and we've got a hot and somewhat more sticky and humid day on the way for this afternoon. Morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows clear skies over the forecast region. There is a little bit of haze in the atmosphere being reported at the weather stations. And we've just got a dome of high pressure over our forecast region on the water vapor channel. And we've got precipitation coming in to our north and west, but well removed from our forecast region during today and tonight. And there'll be a chance of more widespread showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, but more appreciable rain will come with a very strong cold front on Thursday and Thursday night, with lowering temperatures and humidities for Friday and Saturday, but let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Morning surface chart from WeatherOvernoak.com and digital atmosphere software shows the high pressure in control of our region, but notice this out to the west. This is our cold front that will be moving very slowly toward the area, and it's going to provide a focal mechanism for waves of low pressure to move along it, and unsettled weather conditions with cooler temperatures coming up for the later part of this week. On the aviation and weather deck today, we have VFR conditions, basically some patchy fog this morning moving out earlier as it burns off. And once the fog burns off, the conditions will prevail with VFR through the day. Winds remain mostly south-southwest at 5 to 10 knots. Tonight we'll start off VFR before fog and or low clouds develop overnight, and VFR conditions possible overnight and towards daybreak. A few showers may affect the southern portions of the area overnight into daybreak as well. Wednesday through Thursday, VFR conditions will deteriorate and become MVFR and IFR at times in showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rain is possible, especially on Thursday, mainly south and southwest winds, fairly light except in showers and thunderstorms. Friday through Saturday, clearing conditions with mainly VFR conditions expected, north to northwest winds, and they'll be fairly light. Right now outside of Newark, it's 73, dew point 67, humidity 81%, and wind is southwest at 8 of clear skies overhead, VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia 2, right now this morning 73, muggy, dew point 68, humidity 84%, wind southwest at 5, and generally clear skies and VFR conditions in place. Surf zone forecast for the New York and Long Island beaches for today. There is a moderate risk of rip currents. Remember, there's no lifeguards now. It's after the holidays over, so you're really going to have to swim in well, you can't swim in guarded areas, so you really just got to be careful. Always have a flotation device. Never, ever swim alone, and never swim near piers and jetties. No risk of lightning today. Surf height 1 to 3 feet. Ultraviolet index is high. Water temperatures are still in the upper 70s. The weather will be sunny. Temperatures around the mid 80s. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The next high tide will be at 4:55 out of East Rockaway Inlet this afternoon. For New Jersey and Delaware beaches, sunny skies today. Temperatures upper 80, southwest winds at 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3 feet. Water temperatures about 74, UVI index is high. Low risk of rip currents across the New Jersey and Delaware beaches. Again, no lifeguards are present. Never swim near piers and jetties, and never swim alone. Always have a flotation device with you. No threat of lightning today. The next high tide at Belmar will be at 4:31 this afternoon. Low tide is at 10:14 this morning. Ragweed, chenopod's, and grasses will continue to pollinate the air today with a dry, dusty pollen grains at 9.2 today. Wednesday they'll be a little lower at 6.6. Thursday a little lower still as a result of the rain oncoming. Friday 5.6 and back into the moderate range on Saturday as well. And the UVI index will continue to be in the medium side through Friday. Surface charts from the Weather Prediction Center, high pressures in control. This is current as of this morning. And we move along in the forecast and we find high pressure weakening and moving off the coast. Here comes our cold front across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes, providing showers and thunderstorms with it. It's going to be a slow mover, very slow mover, and it's going to take until probably Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening before some of this moderate to heavy rain moves in across the region. There will be a prefrontal trough developing on Wednesday that could initiate some shower and thunderstorm, but the chances of that will be isolated to scattered. More widespread rain now comes in during the day on Wednesday night, especially during the day on Thursday as the front moves closer to the New Jersey and coastal regions. And by the time we get to Friday, the front moves offshore. It will be a moderate period of moderate to heavy rain, which could produce some flash flooding in urbanized areas as a result of the ground being so dry, and the runoff will be rapid, so we'll be monitoring for that during the Thursday and Thursday night, even possibly into early Friday morning. Front moves off the coast. Then for the weekend, we get weak high pressure building in, but there will be a secondary front and another wave of low pressure to our south that right now some of the model guidance is suggesting gets just around to the Mason-Dixon line. So the forecast for the weekend could be a drier and cooler air mass with high pressure overall dominating, but there is still an outlier chance that this makes it a little bit further north and mucks up the forecast. Right now, the latest guidance is suggesting a northeast wind, a marine layer in place on Sunday, cool temperatures, high pressure, dry air in place, and suppressing this area of low pressure to our south. That's what the latest model guidance is showing right now, and then that keeps the area of low pressure and its associated front and rain off the coast into early next week, and then more high pressure building in for the middle part and the early part of next week, once again with warming conditions across the region during the early to mid part of next week. Again, 6 to 10 day outlooks through the 17th calls for above normal temperatures here along the east coast and above precipitation chances, and that makes sense given the cold front moving through with the antecedent rain. And then the trough axis backs in across the west and central plains again by the time we get to the 18 to 14 day period. And as a result of that, we get near to slightly below normal precipitation again as high pressure once again dominates with the ridge across the eastern United States. Let's move now into the drought situation. We are in a moderate drought beginning right now, showing signs of abnormally dry and moderate drought developing across portions of interior northeastern New Jersey and the lower Hudson Valley region. And this means that we will continue to be in this area until the rain really comes and helps to knock this down. A few things going on in the tropics and here along the Gulf Coast. Yesterday we noticed this disturbed weather of a weak area of low pressure over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, about 90 miles west-southwest of Cedar Key. It's producing disorganized showers and a few thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are unfavorable due to strong upper-level winds and dry mid-level air. Significant development of this system is not expected before it moves over the Florida Panhandle later today, providing showers and heavy thunderstorms for portions of northern Florida and southeastern Georgia during the next day or so. We have another area of disturbed weather. This is about a 20% chance, an area of cloudiness and showers about 250 miles east of Bermuda. Associated with a trough of low pressure, environmental conditions are expected to become somewhat conducive for development over the next few days, while the system mainly is nearly stationary for the next day or so and moves to the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. About a 30% chance of this becoming anything over the next 5 days. And of course we have Tropical Storm Grace, and we'll click on this for the details right now. Okay, Tropical Storm Grace will be moving in this direction and weakening as it approaches the island chains here over the next 3 days. GFS forecast into motion. Basically, high pressure moves off the coast. We get into our southwesterly flow, the warm and mid-levels of the atmosphere all the way up to 10,000 feet. Scattered to isolated convection develops basically to our south and west on Wednesday night, and Thursday. That's where the period of moderate to heavy rain moves in as the front moves through the region very slowly. Waves of low pressure develop along it. Moderate to heavy rain, a couple of inches could fall in certain areas, and this would lead to training of the showers and thunderstorms, which could produce some flooding concerns, and of course we'll be monitoring. Moderate to heavy rain across Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey as the front moves through Thursday night and Friday. And finally, we begin to dry out slowly during the morning on Friday, especially over western sections, less so across eastern sections here on Friday morning. And then eventually we dry out completely for all areas by Friday afternoon and evening. This area of low pressure here will remain to our south according to the latest model guidance as weak high pressure builds in for Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning, keeping most of the precipitation to our south. This will have to be monitored. If this nudges a little bit further north, then Saturday's forecast will not be as dry as one would expect right now. The rest of the weekend is looking pretty good as high pressure begins to build in across the region. Cooler air and drier conditions. Northeasterly flow with the orientation of the high here means a marine layer will be in place, and that will switch around again by early next week, and we should get into a modifying air mass once again with warmer conditions developing. Right now it looks like most of the temperatures for next week will stay on the moderate side of the upper 70s and lower 80s with a northeast to east wind from off the ocean as the high parks itself over southern New England and western Atlantic coastal waters and continues to provide a marine air mass in place. And it looks like that's going to be the case. We'll be monitoring any kind of tropical development here off the southeastern coast or an inverted trough, and this could provide some instability and problems around the forecast region as we get into the later part of next week. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Keep your cool out there today and be safe on the roads. We'll be back in video form tomorrow morning.